Megamind was a classic, and it never fails to keep me entertained. I love the story, and I love what it displayed. It left an unforgettable impact on me. This movie showed me that the choices you make in your everyday life will define who you are at the end of the day, not where you came from or what you did in your past or what people think of you. And before I get any deeper into this video, I want you to know that this is my opinion, and I'm not just blindly trying to say that this is the greatest thing I've ever watched. Anyway, I feel like all generations of kids are made to look at heroes in a very one-dimensional way. Just good guys versus the bad guys. We usually see our hero that's born with everything and universally loved by everyone and will always be praised. And then we obviously have our villain that just wants to destroy the world or the hero for whatever reason. But I recently rewatched Megamind after a couple years and I realized that it completely takes away from that cliche stereotype. As a kid, I saw Metro Man as a literal legend, which he still is, that had no weaknesses and could never be stopped. I can't even think anything bad to say about him. He even looks perfect as well. And Megamind is just a funny looking blue villain that is never supposed to win and get smacked around. But this story is a whole lot deeper and heartbreaking. In the beginning, we see both of them being sent to Earth as babies as soon as their home planets get destroyed. So far everything's going the exact same, until we see where they ended up. And of course, Metro Man just gets blessed with falling into a massive mansion with the most loving family, insane amounts of wealth on top of that too, and he gets everything he's ever wanted. And Megamind's pod just crashes straight into a prison filled with horrible criminals that raised them. And now we skip a bit of time and see them in school, where it's the exact same but just worse. Metro Man is that cool kid that everyone loves and everyone looks up to. Meanwhile, Megamind is just the black sheep and gets bullied non-stop. And it gets even more sad because there would be times where Megamind would try to show off his talents, but they would just go wrong and he'd get even more hated and he'd be labeled as a bad kid. And imagine your life being this troubled and unlucky since you were born. It's something that can hit a lot of people. You see, when you're young and you're surrounded by so much negativity, it's eventually going to stick to you to the point where you're going to start believing it. And that's what happened to Megamind. He came to a breaking point and he decided that if the whole world's going to see him as a bad guy or someone that doesn't belong in society, then he's going to be the worst person possible. He didn't become a villain because he was filled with hatred as a child or just wanted to hurt others for the thrill of it. He finally embraced it because it's the only way he ever felt seen. As soon as he landed on this earth, that's the identity that society gave him. For so many years, we just see this one-sided routine of him just getting destroyed by Metro Man on a daily basis. Until one day Megamind wins, and Metro Man vanishes from the city. He's finally won. He doesn't even know how to feel about it anymore. And honestly, he falls into a bit of a depression, it seems like. Even though he's got tons of money and essentially the entire city is in his hands, he truly still feels miserable. Even though he finally got to the top, it's really lonely up here. Without a rival, he feels that he has no purpose, and he's just empty without Metro Man. Megamind is so desperate to just not feel this boredom anymore, to where he tries to create a new hero using Metro Man's DNA. And unfortunately, his plan fails, and it gets injected into this guy, Hal Stewart. Hal is a guy that you think is a truly nice person, but you feel a bit of sympathy when you see him on the screen. The thing is, when someone like this gets a godlike power, they turn into something dangerous. They aren't a hero, and it shows what they were hiding inside of them the whole time. Kind of like Homelander, for an example. Megamind thought for a second that he created a savior that was going to give him that same fun and purpose that Metro Man did, but he was wrong. He created an insecure bully that has the power of a god. This guy never wanted to protect anyone. After years of being someone who's just a regular guy, he finally gets to have all this attention, respect, and power. Deep down, he wanted this girl, Roxanne. As soon as she rejected him, you could see the type of guy that he really was. He believed that the world owed him something. He was the furthest thing from Metro Man, and that's why I think that DreamWorks did an amazing job at writing this character, because it displays someone that we see in our everyday life. Unlike Megamind, Hal is realistic. There are tons of people like him throughout the real world. Many people think that if they do one favor or be nice to someone, it means that they deserve the entire universe back in return. Those are the same people that can't handle rejection and can't ever see themselves being at fault. So once again, just imagine someone like that having power. There's no consequences for the thing that they've been seeking for so long. Nobody's going to tell them to stop. And while that's going on, Megamind is starting to realize that what he created is beyond worse than himself. And that says a lot. This guy literally loves being the bad guy. For years, all he wanted to do was just to defeat Metro Man. He didn't care about being a hero, he just wanted to be seen as a villain. And now, he's finally seeing someone that is in the same role as him. A villain. But this is much worse. It's not something worth laughing at anymore. There are innocent people being in danger. Hal is nothing close to Megamind. He actually is a danger to the city. Megamind never wanted to hurt people. No matter how badly he was mistreated since he was born, he just loved having a rival. He always just wanted to outsmart Metro Man. Never once did he want to hurt an innocent civilian for no reason. And this is another massive turning point in the movie. It drops the narrative about it being defeating the bad guy, and it starts to become what I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the video, identity. Megamind spent his life trying to become what people thought of him, a villain, and he thought it fit him, but it didn't. As soon as he saw someone being actually evil, you could see that he feels guilt and that he actually has empathy. Megamind can truly see the wrong in his actions, and that makes me feel so bad for him, because if this man was treated better, we would have gotten a lot more out of him. We really got to see the true character behind him. It was hidden and buried after all of these people decided to judge him for no reason. Moving a little bit off topic for a quick second, a character I haven't brought up yet is Minion. At first, he just seems like your typical comic relief type of character. I mean, after all, he's just a fish inside of a giant robotic gorilla suit, which is already ridiculous. However, throughout the movie, he proved himself to be an amazing friend to Megamind, whether if he's on the winning side or the losing side. Minion would never leave him, and that's probably the only person that has accepted Megamind for who he truly is. He never switched up on him or talked behind his back or thought any differently of him, and that is a friend that you'll probably encounter once in a lifetime. Everyone needs someone like him. Anyway, now towards the ending of the movie, there isn't any action or explosives. Megamind calls it quits and stops pretending to be someone that he isn't. He's not a villain anymore. He's done trying to impress people and he wants to start doing right. This isn't because of anyone's influences. It's him choosing that. This is who he wants to be. This is what this movie tries to display. Where you come from doesn't matter, or what people think of you doesn't matter. It's about the choices you make. Let's look at these three. Metro Man was born with everything you could imagine. Hal was given unlimited power, and the person that everyone thought was a villain and that was good for nothing eventually revealed his true self and was a hero deep down in his heart. I also need to give DreamWorks a ton of credit. This movie still cracks me up. The jokes still hit and the soundtrack is amazing. Not to mention the voice acting with such a deep cast. The animation still holds well for a movie that's 15 or 16 years old. This movie did a fantastic job at balancing comedy and action and a little bit of romance all in one, alongside having such a deep message. As a young kid, when I saw this for the first time, I loved it, but not for the same reasons that I love it now. I'm a lot older now, and I can see that the message that it was trying to display after all these years. Your past doesn't define you. Your mistakes aren't going to define the rest of your life. And the opinions that people have built on you also don't matter. It's you. You're in control of your identity. And that's why I believe that Megamind is probably up there with one of the best DreamWorks movies ever. And overall, an all-time great animated movie as well. I loved it back then. I love it now, and I'll continue feeling the same way about it forever. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you grew up with Megamind or watched it recently, leave a comment down below. I'll try my absolute hardest to reply, and I love reading your guys' opinions.